This video gonna be about Halle Berry turned down the movie Speed, and she said years later she regretted it. It went to Sandra Bullock. It was a big movie for Sandra Bullock. It was, Keanu Reeves. It was the bus driving by itself. Halle Berry did have action adventure films at the time, but she was still kind of, I want to say, kind of like a around the way actress, kind of hood roles because she hadn't really had that big crossover. This is before Bulworth or Her and Warren Beatty had came out, and she was still doing, a tour of movies. It was a time where um, she was kind of in between, with her career. So she wasn't at that time that far removed from Neil Long territory or from Jada Pinkett Smith's territory at that time. And what I mean by that is that they were, what I want to say is black actors, they were kind of ghettoized. They weren't Angela Bassett territory, okay? So they were kind of in that where you kind of do these kind of roles. And if someone hit you over and crossover, you were kind of waiting your turn at one at a time. So that's before she blew up. But Speed would have been an interesting vehicle for her. The scientificness of it, the whole hit of it would have been interesting. How she would have been able to parlay that. You know, and definitely did. It definitely helped out Sandra Bullock a lot. You know, she at the time was like a junior whopper version of Julie Roberts because she was cut on that same cloth. Halle was in a unique position. But there were, there was certain type of female actresses around and what have you, and where you're going to get that love. And also, don't forget about Tisha Campbell, young African American actresses. And then you're going to get this, where you're going to go for the next role. Because she did do good in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. Robin Givens was in there. There was still some competition. There was a mixture of all sets. But Halle Berry was on the way up. You could definitely see it's just a matter of what vehicle you take. I think she probably looked at Speed and maybe thought it was kind of gimmicky. Maybe she didn't think it was going to set it off like that. Maybe it wasn't going. Maybe it was going to be, where it overrides who you are. So somewhere you get lost in the sauce and no one really takes you serious about that. So um I can understand the reluctance, and understandable about that. So uh but she did come and regret it because it was a big time movie. And you just never know in hindsight what you're willing to take, what you're willing to do, what you're gonna gravitate towards. Just a lot of factors involved. So, not knowing it and just hoping that things kind of like, make sense for you. But um, yeah, that movie was big. I remember watching it. I didn't even, and Sandra Bullock's character was kind of like, I get where she didn't want to take it because it was secondary, you know, and it did take Sandra Bullock a minute before she started to get her climb, when she got to that particular level. So I understand that. You got to be careful with these roles because sometimes you can get pigeonholed, and especially when you're black talent, you really have to be very careful with the Hollywood system. So I got where Halle was coming from, but it would have been interesting though. So anyway, let me know what you think. Halle Berry turning down the movie Speed. She said she a little regretted it, but you can let me know how it turned out for her career. What do you think? Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like, and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.